All right, let's go ahead and talk about stocks. Number one watch is obviously NVDA. Whew. The reason for that is because we just broke over a very, very big resistance, which is 230 right here. 229.87. It's 230. It's a whole number. As you can see, we haven't broke that. Just a minute. We haven't been over that level since back here, and it was also a gap to the downside over here. And then we also had a bunch of touches on this level. So this is a very important level since last April, last May. So almost a year ago now. And we're finally gapping over this. So ideally I would like to see a pullback back to this 230 level. And then I'm going to take a trade about 231 up to get over these highs, which will be different when the market is open, of course. Probably be making new highs out of the gate for how strong the stock is. No guarantee. As long as we open over 230, I do not see us coming back below 230 for the entire day. If we do, it's going to be a weird technical formation that I've never seen before. So I would really not expect us to get back below 230. I think we're going to be over it as long as we open above 230 here. Baba, let's go ahead and check out Baba. As you can see here, we've had kind of a rundown. We did come over here. We did close the gap. So we went down 94.37, and the last touch that we had was below that. So we did close the gap. There is another small one here. It doesn't have to be closed today. It could take a while, or it could never get closed. Not all gaps close, but I do like that we went down and closed the gap, and now we're gapping back to the upside. I would expect to move higher. Here, I wouldn't really see any reason for it to come back down, but anything can happen, obviously. And this is not as good of a setup as NVDA is. I like NVDA a lot more. So I'm not going to necessarily be watching this right away, but you know, it is a big gap up. Technically, it should move higher today. I think it might have a little bit harder time than NVDA, but we'll see. NVDA, I really hope I get into that trade. Let's go check all of our margin requirements. So margin for NVDA is 1 to 6. That's fine. Ooh. Baba is not marginable still, so I'm not gonna be able to trade Baba. Baba's got to come off my list. Well, that kind of sucks. We can add AMD. Baba's gonna come off my list. It's not shortable. It's not marginable at all. 1 to 6 on MRNA, and then W. Not marginable. Okay. So we're gonna take W off, and we're gonna add probably Lucid here. Down 13%. It's a hard to borrow stock. It's gonna be on SSR. It's gonna be very hard to get into Lucid. It's gonna be very hard. Hard to borrow and short sale restriction. Gonna be very hard to get in there. I almost want to add Tesla. I know Tesla's not up more than 3%, but it's 1.8. I don't think they limit margin on Tesla ever. Ooh, they do. Wow. 60%. So that would be not quite 1 to 2 margin. So I'm not trading Tesla. Well, I'm just gonna keep Lucid up there. No, I can't keep. Wasn't Billy on the list? Yes. But I think it is. That's fine. Marginable. Let's keep Billy on the list here. I probably won't trade it today. We have NVDA, we have MRNA, which is my number 2 on the list. Let's just go ahead and move this up. Copy. AMD. And we're gonna paste. There we go. Okay, so we have NVDA, and then I want right here needs to be mRNA, which it is. AMD is there, and Billy's there. Perfect. Okay. Fuck. That wasn't fun. Okay, let me get my thoughts right here. Market. The overall market is kind of a little bit up. Actually, the SPY and the Qs are more up than anything else is right now, and the Dow is basically flat. I'm not worried about the Dow at all, but the SPY and the Qs are what we actually trade off of. That's what actually controls our price action. So, maybe a little bit worried, not overly, especially with NVDA. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with NVDA. A lot of people are already getting into this trade. It needs a pullback. Okay, you don't want to get in pre-market. That's stupid. You have a lot of downside potential, especially at 234, 235 area. Go all the way back down to 230. So I wouldn't be getting in pre-market. It's not my strategy anyway. With how strong NVDA is, there's 2 ways I'm going to trade this stock. Out of the gate, it's going to go down, and I'm going to get a low entry, which is fine. Take it around 230. Or it's going to come right out of the gate strong. It's going to go up, and then we're going to get a pullback for an entry, and then go over the highs. So there's 2 ways to trade that stock. Not sure which one's going to work. One of them will work. Let's look at AMD. Same thing as kind of Baba here. Kind of came down, closed the gap. It basically closed the gap. Very close to closing the gap. So it more so just went to that level and bounced off it. That's kind of expected, to be honest. But we're gapping up a nice amount here on AMD, 5.1%. It's just kind of a sympathy play for NVDA, I think, because they're both in the chip sector. There's no levels that we're really breaking out of. We're really just trading in a range here. Yeah, obviously I like NVDA better than AMD, but still notable. AMD could be a trade here. Not sure. MRNA, of course, this is our COVID stock that keeps coming down, down, down. Just kind of range bound here, but it could be a move under that 150 level since the whole numbers usually play a large part into what we trade. So under that 150, maybe we get a nice breakdown to 148, 145. It's definitely possible. And it's about all I can say about that stock. If it bounces off of 150 and comes back to the upside, it's not a trade. And Billy, oof, I don't really see a trade here in Billy with the daily chart, how it is. You're not over any levels, you're range bound. Yeah, I don't really see a trade with Billy here, but I'll still watch it. It might just be better for me to put Tesla up. I'm not going to trade Tesla. but it might be better for me to put Tesla on the watch list just to call out a good trade, maybe. Hmm. Market's moving a little higher now. 0.68 up on the SPY. S&P Q's up 1.2%, so it's looking good there. Um, yeah, so that's the plan. NVDA, as long as we stay over 230, we're looking for a pullback. MRNA under 150 is a possible. I feel like on mRNA, you're going to want it to pull up quite substantially. Maybe the 153, 152.50 area right in there. And then we're going to want to see a hard rejection and then a move back lower and then trade it to the downside before it breaks that 150. You're trading in anticipation for it to break that 150. That's how I always look at it. It's usually how I would trade it. And then Billy, I just don't think I'll be trading that one. It's just range bound. Let me go ahead and take a look, see what we got, see if there's any other trades that are popping up that are possible. I don't see anything else popping up, guys. Oh man. 7 minutes to the market open here. Go to the 1 minute chart on everything. And let's get set up. Yep, I'm just gonna wait for the open here, 6 minutes. Got all my stuff worked out here. NVDA, MRNA, two of my top watches here. Gotta be under 150 for MRNA and over 230 for NVDA. NVDA has a pre-market high of 234.89 when pre-market low of doesn't matter. I mean, after 230, it really doesn't matter. Just watching and waiting. Three minutes to the bell here. Okay, switch over. Alright, here we go here, everybody. SPY. The Dow and the Qs are basically up a little bit here. Not a lot, but a little bit. Coming into the open here. NVDA is at 234. Looks like we're gonna open around 234 here. Just fine. The first few minutes here, we're just looking to see what NVDA does. Alright, here we go. MRNA is popping up like crazy right out of the gate. Wow. That's not a trade yet. I like the pullback here, NVDA. It's gonna be hard to trade this. Trying to wait on NVDA here. It's usually good to wait the first 5 minutes, but it's hard with a stock like NVDA that I feel like it's gonna go up very nicely here. Patience is key. Look for the pull up. I will be getting long here, NVDA. Over about 234. We're gonna keep dropping. It'll be 233.75. If we get down to that 230 area and decide to bounce off of it, I will be taking a long no matter what. We're gonna wait here. I like the way it's going. It's moving perfectly for what I'd like to see. If I can get an entry as close as 230 as I possibly can, that'd be perfect for me. Otherwise, we'll be taking a trade here real quick on the way back up. And now it's going to move down to right there, 233. Over 233, I'll be in. Just waiting still. I'm in. Stop out is going to be 231.10. Always do that. Very confident about NVDA. That's why I'm in as early as I am. I would expect a very nice pop over that 235.22. Should be 2 points. About 2 points on the risk reward too. So about 1-to-1 risk reward here. But if we do get under that 231.10, I will have to be out. Um, SPY's going down, Dow's going down, QQQ is going down. That tells me good thing is NVIDIA, the way it bounced back up right away. Tells me that's a strong stock. MRNA would have been a good trade there. Under 231.10 here, I'll have to be exiting. I don't think it'll go through there, but we'll see. Just kind of going sideways here on NVDA. It's trying to pick a direction here. Market's coming down. It's part of the reason we have this here. I'm debating on whether I give it more room to 230 and call 230 my exit point. Just touched 231. I'm going to give it more room here. Down to 230. Might regret that. I'm unsure still. Under 230, I gotta be out. A lot of sellers out of the gate here on NVDA. Oh, sorry. I always end up blocking this. Man, MRNA would have been an absolute banger of a trade. Market's coming down. That's why you're seeing. That's why we saw NVDA come down so hard. Is because of the market. I still think NVDA is a really good trade. Missed out on MRNA. It kind of sucks, but it's alright. It is what it is. So now we have our stop of 230.25. It's a lot of room, a lot of breathing room on this stock, which could be a problem. We're over the VWAP now. Um, Over the VWAP on NVDA. Just gonna let it sit, let it, do its thing. This, I gotta get over this point here, but actually, ideally, this is all the way up here. Market is starting to move up slowly. And I had to endure a lot of loss in this trade. How much is NVDA up? 11.9%. It's a moving stock though. It's a mover. It moves. A break under that 230 on NVDA would be really bad for the stock. If we are range bound for too long in here without any significant moves to the upside, we had that one big green candle there. We're just waiting on another one to come through for us. We'll have to get out though if it decides not to come. Just moving sideways doesn't work for me in a trade. So. Um, move down and move back up like that could be indicative of stop loss hunting. People going down and searching for people's stop losses. Big traders, not big traders, but big firms like to do that kind of stuff. It's not very concerning for me. Um, when you're a trader like I am, you tend to stick to your entry and exits, which is what you're supposed to do, instead of setting stop losses like that so that they can see them. It's not necessarily stop loss hunting, but it could be. So VWAP is extremely holding us down here. It seems like we're having a very hard time moving over the VWAP and NVDA, and maybe that's partly because it's up so much. That would make sense to me. MRNA could be a trade here. Get going back to the downside. So I don't know if there's hidden sellers at 233 here. What's the highest thing we got here? 233.64 is our high. So I don't know if there's hidden sellers or what at 233.50 area. I'm guessing there is big hidden sellers. So that same 233.64 that we're getting stuck at right here. Doesn't make much sense to me, besides somebody intentionally holding down the stock, which is exactly what I think it is. Somebody's got orders out. Let's go see this 64. Nothing. You just see it move up to that 233.64 multiple times and can't break it. If we do break it, it's going to be good, but looks like it's really having a hard time trying to break that, which indicates there's hidden sellers. It's not having a good time with this trade. One more time, let's see if it can do it. Held right there, held. 70, 80, okay. Alright, we're going through it. Barely went through it. 80, 88, 90. Got to get over 234, over 234. Now we need to see it over 235.22. Could potentially be taking a trade on MRNA after this to the short side. Not at our target yet. 235.22, I believe, is the high. Nope, 235.14. So let's see it move over 235 now. Should move over with a big volume candle. Take 35 shares off over that 235. Okay, now I'm just waiting. I trust this stock to move higher. There we go, we sold half. Wait for the pullback. There's the pullback, selling the rest. $193 up. It's perfect. Could take the short side here on MRNA. Jumping right back into a trade. MRNA could be a good trade to the downside here. Ooh, we got a spread. I have not been watching it. That's a big spread, man. I don't want to trade that. That's crazy. Man, that NVDA trade was amazing. Thank God, I gave that room down to 230. I was gonna get out. I was gonna get out, and thank God I gave it room, man. Absolutely perfect. I'd expect it to test this 235 level and then move back to the highs again, over the highs again. Would not surprise me. That's usually how this works. MRNA I'm just not taking because of the spreads on it. Uh, Now I'd expect NVDA to move over these highs again. Yep, look at that. Yep. I wasn't going to take the trade on that though. Look at that MRNA. I called that MRNA trade. Just didn't want to take it because of the spread. Could have taken it with small share size, but it's just not something I wanted to take a risk after I had a really good trade on. So market gap and gold here. Broke the highs on the SPY and the Dow, not the Qs. MRNA, like I said, under the 150 level now. If we get a pull up, I'm not going to take it. I should have did small. I could have done small size, but I was watching it at the 152 level, but just not my trade, man. I mean, yeah, it was. You know what? I can't say it's not my trade. It was. It's just it's got a 25, 26 cent spread on it right now. 20-cent spread on it right now. I mean, that's a big loss that you're immediately taking. So it's just a little, a little crazy to me. Still would have been a really good trade right now. Yeah, it would have been a good trade. I want to see if it'll get under that 150, like I said. There's no significant trade on NVDA again. Billy might work its way back. Billy might make its way back up over these. Really, you want to break that low, 22.72. Need to break that before I'd be interested. And then we'd be looking for the highs, and then the lows here would be our stop. Billy's only up. I don't have Billy on this one. It's over here. 3% right now. Let's see if mRNA is going to break these lows. 150 to the downside. That's what I called this morning. Before it goes down to below 150, I think it definitely needs to pull up here. I think it's no way it's going to extend itself all the way down below 150 right now. So, one of the reasons I did not like this MRNA trade is because of this huge green candle in the beginning here. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would it have such a huge green candle in the beginning and then just absolutely die right after? Look at NVDA. Good job, NVDA. NVDA did exactly what I thought. MRNA is doing exactly what I thought. There, look at that, guys. I called it. I called it. mRNA. Look at that. I called mRNA below 150. Called it all the way this morning. Yes, I didn't take it. I know. I didn't take it. But I called it, and that makes me happy. So, um, I was thinking AMD might be sympathy play here, but it's really not moving to what we need it to be moving towards. That is such a beautiful trade on mRNA. This is amazing on mRNA how many red candles we have back to back consecutively. Wow, mRNA still coming down. Below 149 possibly. Absolutely insane. I would have never expected this from MRNA. I mean, I called it, yeah, but this far, this is a long ways. You know, when I'm saying under 150, I'm thinking 149.80, 149.70, but it got all the way down to 149. Yep, here's the pull up. That was needed. That was very needed. Yeah, let it run a little. That was needed on it. I mean, come on, that's insane. But you can't just, you can't buy those and expect it to go back up. Stocks can be irrational longer than you can be solvent. NVDA is going for another. We're on to the upside here. I don't know if it'll break anymore. I usually don't trade it after the second time. It breaks the highs once here, twice here, 3 times here possibly. I don't know. I just don't trade it after that. 238.24. It did get over it again. Yeah, NVDA is a very strong stock. You don't get a setup like that every day. Very, very good setup there for NVDA. Just amazing. Could have held that one. Next time. The more times that you hold this, the longer, or the more time, the more ability it has to fail on you. So. There's the SPY today. So it's doing it basically exactly the same as NVDA here. Another move to the downside maybe on MRNA. Crazy if it did that. I would not be taking that. SPY's coming down now. I would expect NVDA to come back down to somewhere in this range. Probably later in the day bounce off at 230 again and then go to the upside. Again. I would not expect it to break 230 at all today. 230 is a very strong level for this stock. I think you're going to have another day sometime when it'll come back below that. Or maybe it'll never come back below that, who knows. I would expect NVDA to go back over these highs again today at some point. Just general uptrend all day probably. Look at mRNA below 149 now. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, I'm out for the day. I don't think mRNA is going to give me anything. Not that I want. And NVDA kind of seems like it's going to be done for me for the day. I would say I'd take it at the 230 level again if we get down there today. But I'm not. It's not my trade. It's not my domain. It's just not my domain at all. So I'm gonna lock up profit today. Not worried about it. 1 second. Okay. Here is my profit on the day, 193.20. So I'm happy with that. One trade, one entry at 233.11, one exit at 235.90 and 235.84. Happy with that. I will catch you guys tomorrow.